Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another tutorial video brought to you by Rib. Today I'm going to show you how to set up a QB core or an ESX default server, and then how to set up a QB core server using one of the packs off the ribsocial.com website. So first things first, there's going to be a couple of programs we need. I'm going to be setting this up on my local. If you're going to use your local, then you're going to have to port forward for other people to be able to join your server. However, I don't recommend using your local. I only recommend using a local for testing. Reason being, people can get your IP. You don't want that happening. What I do recommend you do, if you're brand new to it and you haven't got a lot of members, etc., then use an NFO server. Even a little 3-core, 2-core Windows 2019 VPS will be great. However, if you've got a big player base, then I recommend an OVH dedicated server. So first things first, we're going to need a couple of programs for our local. It's going to be XAMPP. So let's go XAMPP. It's called XAMPP download. Let's go over to the XAMPP website and we're going to download it for Windows, so 8.1. Let's download this right here. Once this is downloaded, we're then going to go and download Heidi. Download Heidi. Heidi SQL. Let's download this. Download Heidi SQL. Download. And we're going to download this installer. So these are two programs we're going to need. The XAMPP it controls all the MySQL, so the communicating with your database, and the database is going to be set up in Heidi. So let's go to our download folder, and we're going to go. I can just run it here, I suppose. Let's just run it here, but I'm going to install it into my C drive. Minimize that. So XAMPP, yes. I click OK. Go to next. So that's C drive, XAMPP, next. So it's installing. Might take a sec. Once this is installed, we're going to do one at a time. Once this is installed, we'll have a little control panel, and we need to install the MySQL. But we'll let it do its thing. And then following from this, we'll install Heidi. And then we can crack on with our default server. Sometime today. Come on. XAMPP is an easy install Apache. Unpacking the files. Nearly there. I don't want to have to keep muting my mic, and I want to do it in one take. I don't want to edit the video, so we'll just wait. This it shouldn't take long. Around 10 minutes, you should have your own Fivem server installed. Come on, nearly there. Last little bit. Okay. So that's done. Creating the uninstaller. Okay, so let's start the control panel, which looks like this. Now within the control panel, you need to click Start. You might, and your systems, this is Windows 11. In your systems, you might have to double click over here to install MySQL. However, I can just click Start, and it's going to start it straight away on port 3306. So now we can minimize this. That's XAMPP sorted, and obviously your server won't run. Your server will not connect to your database if you do not have the control panel always running. Normally it just sits down in your tray. So let's just minimize this. Let's go over to our Heidi. Let's set up Heidi. Yep. I accept. Next. Install. This one's a little small one. We don't need to launch Heidi just yet. So that is our database, which is up here, and XAMPP installed. Right, what we need to do now, because we're doing a standard server, we're going to go to the Fivem website. So go to Fivem, and we're going to go to create your own server. We're going to go to host your own server, and then we're going to go to the Windows Setup Vanilla Guide, and we need to download some artifacts. So let's go to the Windows Server Listing, and let's go to the Recommended. And as you can see, the downloading down here. Now we're going to go to our C drive. So let's go back into the C drive. And we're going to create let me just delete this. Let's create a new folder in here. And we're going to call it Start Server. Start Server. Into the downloads. Let's get that server folder. Obviously, I'm using WinZip. Sorry, I'm using WinRAR to extract these folders because these folders are zipped. You can use WinZip, WinRAR, whichever. However, WinRAR is free, so I suggest using WinRAR. Let's go back to our C drive, back into Start Server. Let's paste this in here. Right click, show more, and let's extract here. Extract here. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to run the FX server, and it's going to open a browser. FX server. Allow access. If I go to here, so now I need to go to, there we go, it's already done it for me. It's localhost. If it doesn't automatically open localhost colon 40120, link account, we'll give you the code there, 7810. Okay, connect to your Fivem account, fivem.net, create any password on here. I have read. Create a master account. Okay, so let's just delete these so we can stay organized. And this is for the standard server, guys. So since you didn't select any profile starting ticks only, we selected default. So go next. Server name. Let's just go with anything. Ribs test. Let's go next. Deployment type. So this is where you're going to pick what kind of server you want. Whether it's we're going to be going into the popular recipes, and you can select a ESX Legacy or a QB Core, etc. Let's go QB Core. So there's the path for the server. Go to next. We're almost done. Go to the recipe deployer. Okay, so go next. So now I use my server key. However, I'm going to just put my key in, but I'm going to hide the screen for 2 seconds. Obviously, we don't want that getting compromised, so let me just minimize this. Let's get my server key. Your license key will be on the CFX website, Keymaster. Copy that. Let's put it in there. Boom. One recipe. There we go. So let's go back. Okay, so now it's actually setting up the server. Actually install it. It's very, very simple. And it doesn't take long. Let me just close a couple of programs because we're running a little slow here. Halfway done. What I'm going to do in the meantime, I'm going to open up Heidi, and we're going to create a new. You can name this anything. The session name, rib. It's going to be root and no password, and the port is 3306. Go to open. As you can see, that's all installing down here. Let's minimize that. Let's go back to the browser. Nearly done. %. Okay, next. So this is done now. So if we go save and run, this is starting up the server. Server started. server is up. It's for the first time when you start your server. It's going to do this. It won't take too long. Don't worry about this one. Yeah, sorry, yarn warning. So this is the TX admin. Here's your server starting. So this is a default server. So if I open my Fivem, be able to join this. Like I say, I only recommend using a local host for testing, for developing. You don't really want your IP being out there. You only have to upset the one person, and yeah, they could DDoS you and be an absolute penis. So what we're going to do, so let's this is still doing its screenshot basics, still doing its thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this, stop, confirm. Right, so let's leave that there. So I'll show you how to restart the server. So let's say everything's down. So let's close the console. This page will stop working when you haven't got a console open. But we'll go back to that folder we created, which is going to be start server. And to restart your server, so if I go back on here now, it won't work. So go back to your FX server, run this. Now go back to your local host and log back in, and everything will be fine. So the server started, the server is up. So if we go restart, you'll see that communicates straight away with the console. So this is a default QB Core server working straight away, and we'll be able to go and join it. So it's got 109 resources already. This is your foundation. Once it's sorted the license key. Come on. Come on. There we go. So if I go back to Fivem, we'll just go back like that. Let's go boom, boom. Here's my local host, Ribbit. I'm connecting, joining the server now. Obviously, if you wanted people to join, you'd have to open the ports for the server. However, I only ever use a local host for Devin, so I don't have to do that. That's why I recommend using a VPS for your developing if you haven't got a big server, because you don't need to port forward. Or one step better, use a dedicated server, and happy days. Right, so let's quickly create a character, create admin, British, gender male. Let's now change it to drop down. Let's change the actual date. There we go. Boom. Confirm. Great character. You pick an apartment. Tinsel Towers, confirm. You set up the character, so pick whatever you want. Confirm. Right, so that is the server up. As you can see, you've got your inventory, you've got your map. It's all set up, ready to rock roll, like a pure foundation. To leave the apartment, you press your left alt to then be able to click. So let's leave apartment. So that is a standard QB Core server and how to set it up. However, let's come back out of this. Let's close console. Now I'm going to show you, if you're using one of the packs off the website, the ribsocial.com website, how to use one of our packs. So let's go into the downloads. And over here, I have the 5th of October version. Let's just drag that onto the desktop. Right, so let's go in here. Right, so this here is going to be the artifacts I suggest to use with this pack. I'm going to start updating the artifacts. So let's take this over to the desktop. And what you can do, I suppose, is just Control A to copy it all or select it all. Copy these. Let's go to our C drive. Let's go back to the start server. Control A again. Let's delete that lot and let's put in the artifacts that I supplied. Obviously, if you just wanted to start a standard QB Core server, then yeah, don't do any of this. This is for one of my packs. So there's the starting artifacts. So then we've got the actual server files, which are here. That's going to take a while. Cancel that. We'll put them straight in. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go in here, back to the C drive, back to where our server was just created. So it's TX data. We're going to delete these pair here. These are the standard server. and we're going to drag it in our pimped out version, our pack off the website. So let's let these download. Sorry, delete. Come on. Right, so now we can go back into the 5th of October, get these, put them straight in. One thing you'll have to do within these files is the server CFG. You're going to have to put your Steam Web API key and possibly your license. Well, you will have to do both because they'll have mine, or they'll be blank. What happened then? That just closed. Boom, boom. TX data. Let's go 5th of October. You get in there, mate. What are you doing? 3. So these server files, they have like multiple thousands of edits and resources and maps and cars and you name it, they've got it. So this is how to use one of my packs. But like as previously said, if you want to just use a standard default QB Core or ESX Legacy, that was the step before this. So don't worry about this part. Halfway there, nearly there. One thing I'm going to have to do, I've already put my new license key and Steam Web API key in my server CFG. I didn't want to do that on the video, so I'll drag this in. Nearly done. Moving. There we go. Right, so let's go into QB Core. So this is where your server CFG is going to be. I'm going to put mine over here. So in here, you need to add your license key and your Steam Web API key. Just Google Steam Web API key, sign in with Steam, and it will give you one. And your license key is going to be on the Keymaster CFX website. So that will be that done. Right, now we need to do upload the database. So the updated database that come with these packs. So 5th of October, let's just put you there a second. Get out of that and let's go into Heidi. So what we can do is let's get rid of this. Let's go file, run, desktop, 5th of October, open. Yep. Okay, stand by. So we need to go into XAMPP. And we need to go to config, myini. Where was it? It's down here. We need to go to Where are we? Okay, let's change this to 16M. Max allowed packets, 16M. File, save. Come out of this, stop this, restart it. Let's go to, let me just check this a second. Ooh. Yep, let's go. File, run, 5th of October, okay, yes. There we go, so that's that done. So let's go refresh. So we now have our server file, or our database. Okay, so what I need to do now, let's minimize this again, get rid of that, and we can go to our C drive. Let's go to the start server, which we just updated. Go to the FX server, run this, and our page will become live once again. Continue. As you can see now, it's running a lot more resources. Found 389 resources, not the 119. There's going to be a couple of scripts that are IP locked, so they'll come up as red, no doubt. It's going to take a little longer to run. 389 resources this time round. Loads of maps, loads of vehicles, loads of everything. Obviously, one thing I can't upload is paid CFX resources, so they would be taken out of the pack, like Gabs, etc. But I presume if you're going to be running a Fivem server, you're going to be a Gabs supporter on the Patreon. So let it do its thing. Don't worry about the red there. They're all cars and vehicles. Just telling you that the streaming. Still loading. Come on. Do. Okay, so database connection. See, the trucking logistics and all these cookies usable, these are all IP locked, so they're not going to work for me. But the main thing we're looking for is, let me go back to the live console. Live console. The main thing is this here, database server connection established. So the server is up. However, like I say, these scripts are IP locked, so they're not going to work. Right, so let's go down. Let's go to Choco hacks, etc. Won't work. Let's minimize this. Let's go to Fivem again. Let's see if we can log on the server. Fivem. Starting Fivem. So here's the new local host. Let's connect. And as you'll see, it's a lot different to the previous standard version. You see some blocked out bit of code in the video. That's because I'm just hiding the IPs. Because there's always that penis. Right, so here we are. We're into our own server pack straight from the website. Let's go on with Jimmy D, spawn. Last location, spawn. There we are. That is the server fully working. We're inside a casino right now, so let's come out of here. Let's just go
time in a minute.
Over here.
5 minutes till post time.
TPM. There's your inventory. Phone. Everything's working. So that is how to set up a standard QB Core or ESX server, as well as how to set up a server using one of our packs. I hope it's been helpful. If you want to see more videos like this, like, subscribe, and until next time, peace. Adios, amigos. Any questions, put them down below. My Discord and my website will also be down below. But until next time, adios, amigos.